Nancy, and I'm from UW Extension, the Wisconsin Nutrition Education Program. And with me today are
Angel
and
Debbie.
And what program are you guys in?
Hmong Building Bridges.
Hmong Building Bridges. What grades are you in?
Seventh.
Seventh grade. So what are we making today?
Stir fry.
Stir fry. And Debbie, would you read the ingredients we need for this recipe?
You will need a 1 pound boneless beef, a tablespoon oil, a half teaspoon ground ginger, a fourth teaspoon garlic powder, 4 cups fresh thinly sliced fresh or frozen vegetables, half cup of cold water, a 1 tablespoon soy sauce, 2 teaspoons beef bouillon, 1 tablespoon cornstarch, cooked rice or noodles.
All right, awesome. So let's get started, okay? So Debbie's going to start with a fry pan and turn that on. And what are you going to add, Deb?
The oil.
A little bit of oil. And why are we going to do that?
Because we need the oil for the meat.
That's right. We don't want it to stick. And what are you going to do, Angel?
I'm going to cut.
Okay, so you get started with that. I've got a piece of beef here. And when you cut the onions, what do you need to be careful of?
Be careful not to cut your hand.
Not to cut your hand. That is the most important part. You're right. And why are you putting it flat like that?
Because so you can hold it and cut.
Right.
'Cause if you go like this, then you can like wobble.
Right. You want it safe so you don't get hurt. Okay? And when you cut beef, it's very important that you can go ahead and get started.
Oh.
Debbie, you can put the oil in. And when you cut beef, you'll notice that there is a grain to it. This beef is going this way, and the grain is, so I want to cut across the grain to make that more tender. And the thinner I cut it, the more quickly it's going to cook and the more tender it's going to be, because I'm cutting each of those grains across. So we're going to get this all cut. And I don't want them too long. Lots of people have trouble with choking, and a lot of times it's because they're putting way too big a piece of meat in their mouth. So we're going to cut those in half so that they're not too long. Another thing, if you have trouble cutting meat, if you freeze it a little bit, it's a lot easier to cut it. A little colder to hang on to, but it makes it a little easier to manage it. So this one is thawed out, but it's cutting pretty well here for me. And how's that onion? Are you crying yet?
Nope.
No? Oh, good. I'm
Hopefully
glad
not.
you're not crying. We don't want you crying.
That was sad. That was sad.
All right. And while I'm going to have Debbie turn that burner up to high right now, because I'm going to give her some meat here in just a second to get started, and then I'll cut some more. When we're doing stir fry, we want to cook this very quickly, and so that keeps the moisture in it. So I'm going to have her take part of this and put it into the pan, and then give me back the rest, and I will make sure and get the rest of it cut up. When she puts that in, we're going to be very careful to not get that grease coming back up at you. She did a great job of that. And she's going to just stir that and keep that so that all of the pieces get fried evenly. And we'll hope that Angel can keep from crying. So you can give Debbie your onions before you get started with the next thing you're going to cut.
Okay.
And that way she has plenty in there and those onions get done. If onions are a little bit strong, I can smell them a little bit. Can you smell them? Are you starting to get ready to cry?
Maybe.
All right. So that when you cook them, it helps to sweeten them. If you eat onions that are really strong raw, they're still really strong, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So cooking helps to sweeten that product. Now I've got some part of the meat here that has quite a bit of tendon in, so I'm just going to cut next to that and not use that part of the meat because it's going to be rather tough. And so we're careful not to have any problem with cross-contamination. We want to make sure that if you're doing all of this recipe yourself, if you're cutting the meat first, that you wash the cutting board before you cut the vegetables, right? because Angel might come by and want to eat one of those peppers while I'm chopping, and if I had meat juices on here, raw meat juices, she could get very sick.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to happen. Okay, can I give you the rest of this, Debbie? And the knife you can push it in with, if that would be helpful. Okay, so she's going to keep stir frying here. And before I touch anything else, I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, that isn't so strong, is it?
I know.
You're not crying now. You're doing okay?
Doing okay.
Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do while they're finishing up those vegetables is talk a little bit about that broccoli that's sitting over there. We peeled the broccoli a little bit because it makes it a little more tender. So just peeling the stem part of it some, you don't have to do that. It's just something you might choose to do. And then we cooked it in the microwave a little while. Why did we cook it in the microwave for a little while?
So I could be good enough warm, I think.
Right, and so that it doesn't take so long to stir fry it, because we're hungry. We want to eat pretty soon, right?
Yes.
That just quickens it up. So those were in the microwave for 3 minutes, so 2 to 3 minutes, and they'll still be crisp tender, and then we can put them right in, and it will just go a little bit faster. So when I make the sauce, I'm putting in a half a cup of cold water, and then I'm going to put in some cornstarch. You guys know what cornstarch does? Why I put the cornstarch in?
I don't know.
Actually, what happens is it makes it thick. So it calls for a tablespoon of cornstarch. It'll help make this sauce thick. Now, if you don't have cornstarch at home, which some people don't, then you could put in twice as much flour. So 2 tablespoons of flour instead, and then it will be a little more cloudy. With cornstarch, it's clear. Then I'm going to put in some soy sauce, and I'm using light soy sauce. What does light soy sauce mean? What is it light in? What does it have less of? Does anybody know? It doesn't have as much salt. And too much salt can cause high blood pressure. So we don't want them to have high blood pressure, do we? We don't want to get that. All right. And then I'm going to add some beef bouillon, which just adds flavor. You can give those to Debbie now. And I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons. Now, bouillon, you can get low sodium bouillon. This one is not. So how much you put in will increase the salt, right?
Yes.
All right. So we don't want too much salt, but we want it for flavor. So we're going to let Angel take the spoon and stir that. And then we're going to add some garlic. Do you like garlic?
I think.
You think so? What do you think if you smell it? Do you know it?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay. So then we're going to put in a little bit. We're going to put in just 1/4 of a teaspoon, okay? Sometimes people really like garlic and they might want to put in more. Now, if you want, you can use garlic bulbs, okay? Have you ever cut up a garlic bulb?
I think.
Yeah, and that takes a little more time, so we're going to use the garlic powder because we want it simple. So we got our garlic in there, and then ginger. Have you had ginger before?
I think so.
Okay, ginger is something that comes in a root, and you can buy ginger root from the grocery store in the produce area. But again, we are going to make this really simple, and we are going to use ginger powder today. Okay, it has a good smell.
Yeah, it
Can you
does.
smell it? Okay, so there we have our sauce. And how are those vegetables doing over there, do you think, Debbie?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. If you think that the green pepper is the amount you want it to be cooked, you can add the broccoli now.
Can I put all of them?
Yep, let's put it all in. The more vegetables, the healthier, right?
Yeah.
All right, and you can stir that. And our stir fry is almost done. When the vegetables are cooked the amount that you want them cooked, and like I said, we cooked them in the microwave, didn't they?
Yep.
So it's not going to take very long. And most people like it to be pretty crisp tender. They don't like them really soft and mushy, right? Okay, so if you want it healthier, you'll have it more crisp. So what do you think, Debbie? Do you think we can add our sauce now? Or do you want the broccoli done a little more?
A little bit more.
A little more, okay. So she's going to stir that. She's got it on high heat. And I think maybe we could turn it up even a little bit higher. Okay. Whoops. And then we will add our sauce. Now, are there any other vegetables you might put in stir fry if maybe broccoli's not your favorite? What other vegetable might you put in with the meat?
I don't know.
Would you put cauliflower
Maybe.
or cabbage? Yeah, cabbage would be really good. Cauliflower is really good. Have you ever used carrot?
Yeah.
Carrot, yep. Cut the carrots really thin. Now, carrots take a long time to cook too, so you might want to cook those in the microwave for a little while to get them cooked a little bit more. And red pepper would be pretty in there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would give it lots of color. This looks pretty green, doesn't it? Because we've got quite a bit of broccoli in there. Okay, so there are a variety of vegetables you could put in. And lots of times we do put in broccoli, and lots of times also we put in cabbage, right? So either one, either broccoli or cabbage, and then your peppers, the colorful ones, probably are going to show up more. That yellow shows up pretty well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think what you're going to do, you're going to take your sauce and you can pour it in now. And you'll notice that it will not take very long at all, and that will start getting thick. That cornstarch gets to boiling, and it will get thick, and it will also get more clear. You notice that, Debbie? It's starting to get clear.
Yeah.
It was cloudy, and it'll turn it clear. Now, if you have flour instead of cornstarch, then we're going to turn down the heat just a little bit more so it doesn't burn on us. And I think our food is ready. We're going to eat it with what?
With a juice?
Yep, maybe juice or milk. And then how about some rice or noodles?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's have it with rice or noodles. So we're going to meet you at the table.
Welcome to Cook It Safe Challenge, where teams compete to make the right decision about safe food preparation. Our challenge in this round, oven or microwave. To win, teams must use the proper steps for safe meal preparation, read and follow package cooking instructions, and know when to use the conventional oven or the microwave. You're on the clock, so make your decisions quickly, but be warned, make the wrong choice and your meal will be unsafe. Sorry, Team 2, an unwise choice. Check the cooking instructions on that package you ripped open so quickly.
Dude, what?
Microwaves and conventional ovens both have a purpose. Your challenge was to cook the dish safely. This means knowing which method of cooking to use, and you failed.
We failed to read and follow the package cooking instructions and use a conventional oven.
If you don't follow cooking instructions, some foods may be hot but may not have reached a safe internal temperature. Use a food thermometer to be sure.
We kept focus on reading and following the package cooking instructions.
And we used a conventional oven and a food thermometer.
Can you cook it safe?
This is a delicious food to eat.
Make this meal at home.
This program was recorded and presented by Chippewa Valley Community Television. Chippewa Valley Community Television is made possible by continuing community support. If you would like to volunteer or make a donation, you can contact us by calling 715-839-5067 or on the web at www.cbctv.org.